welcome back to Cricket for Americans. Nick here.
Gabe, the night watchman.
And we have a different type of discussion for you today. The international squads for all three formats have been announced for India cricket. That's right, Indian cricket. The fans of Indian cricket is what has propelled both of our channels. We love all the teams in cricket, obviously, and their players. But this is a big moment where I've been waiting to see these international squads ever since we started watching cricket and doing the streams. This bad boy has not even gotten broken in yet, so I cannot wait to see it broken in. So we're going to give our thoughts on the three teams that were announced today as of recording this. We're going to say a little thing about Test and ODI, but we're not going to mention too much about that because we don't know these players in that format too well. Most of this is going to be the T20 international squad since we're seeing them in the IPL right now. So, Gabe, let's start off with the Test squad. I'll just read the names, and then you can share any thoughts that you want to share. So, we got Virat Kohli, captain. Mayank, Shah, KL Rahul, Chestershire, Ajinkya, Vihari, Shubman Gill, Seha, Pant, Bumrah, Shami, Umesh Yadav, Saini, Kuldeep Yadav, Jadeja, Ashwin, Siraj. Now, a lot of those names I do not recognize, so I do not know some of those players whatsoever. I did look up Saha, and this guy has a good average of about 30 in Test. He's a wicket keeper. I'm sure he's got some defensive skills too. What do you think about the squad just from those names?
I mean, right away, what really steps out to me the most was Pant. I don't see Pant as a Test player. Okay. And I'm like, I get it. People are going to say, oh, KL Rahul is not a wicket keeper. The only reason he's wicket keeping is because in IPL, he's, trying to make sure that he keeps Puran in the field since he's such a good fielder. The point is he has proven he can keep wicket. Okay. So I don't care if his official title is a wicket keeper. I think you're miscasting what Pant does. Pant is going to be much better in a shorter, limited format because he doesn't have the patience I believe it takes to. And I'm a Pant fan, you know that, but he doesn't have the patience and discipline to play Test. And I just fear he's going to have some silly dismissals like he's had this year, and people are going to even hate him more, and he's going to be buried more. And sometimes you can't. You got to have a guy play what his role is, and I think that to me was really weird. Another name is Kuldeep Yadav. Now, I had an interesting conversation about Kuldeep Yadav with some of the fans the other day, and apparently this guy was the man, bro. This guy was the man. And then he got blown up by, I forget what team he was on when he got blown up. It might have been RCB, as a matter of fact. I can't remember. I recently had this discussion, but what happened was he got dropped, and that messed up his confidence. And I mean, I'm like, Kuldeep Yadav, really? Dude. Has he made any noise this IPL? No. Now, granted, Test and IPL are two different animals, so that's why I can't really comment on that too much. But I just come on. Virat Kohli, he's a stud. We all know that, all right? But just look at some of the other names they talked about. KL Rahul, holy cow. Shubman Gill, what is he batting? Fifth? You guys put him at fifth or something? That dude's an opener.
I mean, Shreyas Iyer. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the ODI squad. But yeah. But Mayank, Prithvi Shaw, we've seen this guy go off from time to time. I do question and I haven't seen him in tests, so this is why I'm just questioning. I do question his patience at the stumps. I do. Maybe he's more of a natural Test player, and so that's why he's getting up his stumps a few times, or his wickets a few times too much this season, because it is T20. You got to ramp it up. So I'm excited to see how he does in Test. I love this squad. I mean, you look at this squad and you're just like, holy cow, they have so many players. I don't know about Ajinkya, but he's a vice captain, so he's got to be really good. I don't know about Cheteshwar. He's got to be really good. He's on this squad. You have so many guys. You got Shami, for crying out loud. You got Siraj, who I've liked from time to time, and that's T20. You have serious players on here. I'm looking at the squad, and I'm just like, how can they not win? I mean, how can they lose? They're so deep. Test is such a magical thing to watch. It's going to be super exciting.
I mean, can I just mention one guy who I think got snubbed? I mean, we're going to give our snubs for everything, and I get it. Gabe, you don't know all these players or whatever, but I'm taking Padicle before I'm taking Shaw. What happened to Padicle? Where's the hate? And isn't he? I mean, him and Kohli play on the same IPL team. Kohli's like his mentor. Like, yo, maybe Kohli knows something we don't. But I like the young boy. I think that Padicle should be on this test. I mean, he's done
I
enough,
think
in
it's
my
because
opinion.
it's test. It's the long game. And I think he's got to prove himself first. Let me know if I'm wrong. Prove himself first on an international squad like a T20 squad before he can be moved up to test. You got to know, imagine there's got to be some guys on the international squad for India that have gotten serious snubs that we even know about because we've been learning about the IPL right now. I think Padicle, he's got to be way bottom on that list of even being considered. That's just my opinion. I don't know. He's got skills, but as you know, test is a different game, right?
True.
All right, so I don't really have any snubs because I just don't know enough about these players. I'm just excited. And that test series starts off with Australia December 2nd. So it's coming up super quick. And the matches happen in the afternoon or the evening our time. So we can definitely check out some, if not all of that. It depends if Gabe wants to sleep those weeks. So let's talk about the ODI squad. You want to go ahead and announce the players? You have them in front of you or want me to announce it?
Yeah, I can pull it up right now. So the ODI squad is Virat Kohli, of course, captain, Dhawan, Shubman Gill, KL Rahul, Sirius Iyer, Manish Pandey, Hardik Pandya, Mayank Agarwal, Ravid Jadeja. That's the first one. I'm like, yeah, right away. We're like, Chahal, Kuldeep Yadav, Bumrah, Mohammad Shami, Saini. I love Saini. I love that pick right there. And the core. Now, there's only two names right there that I'm like, this is, again, out of all the Indian players we've seen, and I get it, but ODI is very similar to T20. Limited overs. Yep. I'm looking at this team once again. Where's Padicle? To me, that's a snub. When you talk about it, that's a snub because I'm like, come on, man. But whatever. Like you said, we don't know. ODI is still kind of a different animal or whatnot, so we won't make too much. I'm just like, some of the other names I'm looking at, I'm like, where's Padicle? Okay. I'll let some of the other stuff go because when I looked at the T20 squad, I'm like, oh no, politics. Sound alarm, something's going on. Somebody got paid off under the table, something's going on. But I will get to that in a minute. But Nick, what are your thoughts on this team?
I agree with you on the Padicle on this one because first my thought was, well, maybe Shubman Gill's about 4 or 5 years older. No, he's only 21. I think Padicle's 20, 21 or something like that. They're the same age. And Padicle has been there step with Shubman Gill. Shubman Gill's performance today puts him above, I believe, on the runs, but they've been right there and there. But I love this T20 squad. Dhawan, we have fallen in love with this guy as a monster. Shreyas Iyer is one of my favorite players in all of cricket. Can't wait to see what he can do in the international game. Hardik Pandya. I don't know if he's had a lot of opportunities on the international squad. I thought he was just an IPL guy. I love that he's on this squad. Maybe he has been on for a while. Surprised about Jadeja. From Jadeja, we've seen like, okay. I'm a little surprised by Thakur, right? He's a great bowler. He's great for CSK. He's been there, and he's CSK, correct? I want to make sure I got that correct. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's a dude that dropped that ball that hit him right in the palm of the hands. Real good. That's what you got to look forward to, guys.
But I'm surprised by that. And we're going to get to one big snub in the T20, so we'll mention that and go back on here. But I'm just looking at the batsmen. I mean, how do you have a lineup, right? And let's see, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 guys announced. You can only play 11, so that means only 3 are sitting out each match. Where are you going to back these guys, right? Who are you going to sit out which of these 3 are you going to sit out in the first match? Not Kohli. Maybe Dhawan. I don't know. Maybe Gill, not KL Rahul, not Shreyas Iyer. Maybe Pandey, maybe Pandya, not Agarwal. I mean, which of those guys? You got to sit out 3 of those guys if you want to go. Not 3 of those, maybe 2 of those guys or one of those guys if you want to have a bowler deep roster. But it's just, you talk about embarrassment of riches of all the time. This is super, super impressive. Once again, Kuldeep Yadav. I don't know him from the international game. I have no idea. I mean, we got other guys, again, that we're going to mention pretty soon on the T20 squad because we've been watching IPL. I'm surprised by that one. Saini, he's a great bowler. He really is. This guy is a stud. But again, the only bowlers that are announced are, and some of their all-rounders, Jadeja, Chahal, Yadav, Bumrah, Shami, Saini, Thakur. I'm surprised by a few of those, but maybe the international side, maybe they're super strong. Maybe they have the stamina. They got the I just think there's some other arms out there that I have written down, but we'll say in a few minutes. I'm a little surprised about that, but it's all good.
Bro,
About the ODI squad.
I mean, dude, it's just I don't know, because people are going to say it's not the same animal, but I can only go off of what I've seen this year. Bro, Kuldeep Yadav recently got benched. He recently got benched. Like, again, it's two different animals. So people are going to say, no, he's really good. He's got a history, and fine, I'll take that. But when you look at their numbers and you got to say, okay, where does he lead? And all we have to go off of, by the way, is IPL. It's the only thing we've ever seen, right? IPL. Let's look at the stats, right, for this season, just so you can see what we're talking about. When we're talking about the bowling stats, all right. So most wickets, Yadav. Where is Kuldeep Yadav? Bruh. When you're below Jordan, no, I can't attack Jordan anymore. But you're below, dude. I'm like in the 40s.
All I know is Jadeja's got 4 wickets in 11 matches, 12 matches complete, but 11 completed that he bowled in.
Bro, it's so Kuldeep Yadav. Here we go. 5 matches.
There we go.
5 matches. What was it? 4.
1 wicket.
Yeah, 1 wicket. 5 matches, 4 wickets. 9. Woo, look at that. 92 runs so far given up. I mean, that's an economy. He hasn't been anything special. All right. KKR dropped him. That's why I'm like, really? This guy against some of the guys that we're going to mention earlier?
Maybe he's thinking about freshness. This guy's got the skills and he's going to be fresh because he hasn't been worn out in the IPL. I don't know. I don't want to crush him too much. I know you're not doing that, but I don't want to crush him too much because I just don't know his international flair. But yes, if you look at the IPL, then it's definitely a head scratcher. But let's talk about this T20 squad. All right, this is what we came for, right? We love Test, we love ODI, but these are the guys that we know in the format that we know. And I get it. You're going to say, but IPL is different than international. I get it. But we know these guys, okay? So here's the squad announced. Virat Kohli, captain. Shikhar, which is Dhawan, Mayank Agarwal, KL Rahul, Shreyas Iyer, Manish Pandey, Hardik Pandya, Sanju Samson, Jadeja again, Sundar, Chahal, Bumrah, Shami, Saini, Chahar, Chakravarthy. So many thoughts. Let's just do, spitfire back and forth real quick, okay? So many thoughts. Let's talk about the one that everyone's talking about that I'm sure was a surprise to you too. Chakravarthy. This guy's 29 years old. I believe this is his first international squad. My hat goes off to this guy for making that because he has been a man amongst boys in the IPL this year. Talk about IPL stats, right? Talk about this guy. He had that 5 for not too far away. 13 wickets, 11 matches, economy rate just a tick over 7. I mean, this guy, I'm so proud of him for making the squad. I'm sure he's so excited about that. We're going to do one at a time. I'm going to promise. I'm super excited for him. I think he's going to do some great things. Game, what's your first observation from that squad?
Chakravarthy, and I don't know if that last, what do you call it? Performance where he got 5 wickets, a 5-fer, which is hard to do in Test, all right? Not Test, and it's hard to do in IPL. That was impressive because remember, you only get 4 overs, all right? And this guy is an absolute savage. He's been good all season long. I get it. People, there's a lot of shock to it. I think some of the other guys that were left off, to me, is a bigger story than Chakravarthy. I got no problem with him making it there. Honestly, you look at this number, you look at all the metrics, he's top 10 in all the metrics. And most dots, and we're just going off of IPL, which is basically T20. It's the same thing, all right? Minus all the international players being, he's 8th, right? As far as dots are concerned. Where when you're talking about bowling, when we're talking about most wickets, he is amongst Indian players. I would say he's 5th, bro, with 13. I'm trying to pull it up right now.
No, I don't think he's 5th, but he's in that
4th,
top 10, I
excuse me.
believe.
He's 4th. We're just talking about Indian players, amongst Indian
Oh,
players.
Indian players. Okay, I
Amongst
got it.
Indian player. Yep, he's 4th. Let's go ahead and look at another metric that might matter. Okay, bowling economy, right? That really matters. Who's going to get blown up and who's not going to get blown up? That, you want a guy going out there and giving up a 50 burger, you know what I'm saying? And Chakrabarti, 7th. He's top 10 in all the measures that matter, Nick, when we're talking about amongst Indian players. I get it. You know what I mean? He may not be that name where everybody's like, really? He made the squad? But to me, the story is who got left off as opposed to Chakrabarti making the team. You know what I mean? That's my opinion. What do you want to talk? I mean, what else was glaring to you?
Okay, so just from the roster that we have in front of us, okay? Not trying to kill the guy. There's a few on there that if it was up to me, and I'm not Virat Kohli, if it was up to me, I would not put on there, okay? First and foremost, Jadeja. I don't know if he's getting older. I don't know if he's just out of form. I don't know if this guy is just one of your have-to-haves. I don't care how he's having a bad season or whatever. You've got to have this guy. But he has been like the detriment to CSK for the last several matches. And this guy got on the squad above some others that we're going to mention in a few minutes. I'm shocked by that. I'm really surprised by Sundar. I love Sundar. I've been seeing his praises all season long. But when I look at the numbers, as far as wickets goes, he has 6 wickets in his 12 matches. And I know you can't just go by the numbers. And I'm going to make a point in a few minutes that goes against that theory. But you at least got to look at it. When you can only have so many spots on your squad, you want a guy that can get some wickets. It's not completely essential. Now, the thing that's really impressive with Sundar, which I understand to a certain degree, his economy rate. This guy just does not give up runs. His economy rate's under 6 for crying out loud.
Number 1 Indian bowler in economy rate,
right,
with a 572. He don't give up run.
That's why you just can't look at the wickets part. This guy does not give up runs whatsoever. Jadeja is my biggest surprise, but then also Shahar, okay? And I'm a Mumbai fan. Shahar, I'm sorry, I'm going all over the place, stealing some of your thunder, right?
No,
and let me look at this real quick. Okay, my bad. I'm looking at the wrong Shahar. This is the Shahar from CSK. I have no problem with that. Let me take that comment back real quick. I have no problem. I thought it was a different Shahar, who's a great bowler in his own right, but I didn't think he'd be like top 7 bowler for India. Shahar from CSK, I'm not even going to edit that out. My bad. This is a different type of Shahar. Gabe, thoughts?
I guess we just got to jump to it right now. My glaring issues with some of the guys that were left off, okay? Some of these guys are also on the ODI team, right? So can some of the other guys get some love? Where's Tawadia? What did he do wrong? Tawadia has been a revelation, all right? One of the most exciting innings played so far this year in the IPL. We talked about it. What was the most exciting thing you saw? Talking amongst the entire community the other day. And it was a 5-6s. And it ain't a fluke. The guy can rake. The guy also gets wickets, bro. Gets wickets. He is also top 10 in the metrics. Economy rate, he's number 6, all right? On wickets, let's see where he ranks on wickets. Everything you would want in the metrics, he's top 10 in. Where is he in wickets? Actually, he's 16th in wickets with 7. Okay, his economy rate is, like I said, 6, so a little bit down in wickets. Most dot balls, where's he at most dot balls? And again, we're only talking about IPL, but it's basically the same thing, right? He's 11th, right behind Gopal, right out of the top 10. I love this guy. This guy is a total package, and he can, on a day where whatever, I know the batting is deep, but stranger things has happened. Maybe you're chasing an unsurmountable, one of those huge 350 scores or whatever it is. You know what I mean? You can use a dude that can also rake. To me, that's the biggest snub. And how do you put on, in my opinion, on both teams? I'm like, what is going on? Like, he must have done something we don't know about, but he got snubbed off of both the T20 and the ODI team. I would take him above Sundar. I know you love Sundar, but I would take him above Sundar. I'd take him above Saini. I mean, I don't know. It's perplexing to me. Nick, what about you?
Okay, the biggest one, and me and Gabe both agree on this. We've already talked about it before recording. He's been gracious enough to let me start off the conversation. The biggest snub in this entire thing, in our opinion, is Bishnoi. Okay, Bishnoi is a complete stud. Now, he might be one of those athletes that just has a miracle first full season, second full season, whatever it's been for him, and then he goes away. But this guy, he has done everything enough to convince me that he deserves to be on this international squad. Not just that, but you got youth. This guy's 20 years old, and this guy is getting wickets every single match for a team that's trying to get into the playoffs. They're already in the fourth spot. This guy has been a man amongst boys, and he is a boy. He's 20 years old. I'm sorry, but a Saini or a Jadeja, you got to wait till we get Bishnoi in there. This guy has not even hesitated when he had to be clutch or the pressure was on him. You don't want a guy like that. You don't want that kind of youth movement in your international squad. Now, maybe he was the first one out, and maybe Virat Kohli is giving him a call and saying, dude, I'm loving what your game. I'm loving what you're doing. You were that close. But I am shocked by Bishnoi. This guy, talk about deserves. This guy has proven himself young enough. And if Shubman Gill at 21 can be in all these squads, for crying out loud, you can't get me a Bishnoi. I mean, Bishnoi, 12 wickets in 12 matches. Economy rate just over 7 or whatever. This guy is a complete stud. Gabe, tell me I'm wrong about that. Tell me something. I know you agree
love
with me.
arguing with you. I love arguing with you. It's my passion in life, all right? I actually stay up at night sometimes thinking about how can I piss Nick off tomorrow? I work on my material. Savannah's like, really? Like if I see something on TV that just happens to, the Chargers blew another game, oh, good, I'm going to tell Nick about this tomorrow, the conversation. Just, you know what? I love getting under your skin. But I can't tell you you're wrong here. I don't understand this. Bish, you want to talk about Tawadia being snubbed? Bishnoi is forget top 10, top 6 in the 3 top metrics. 6 in wicket, 4 in dots, 5 in maidens. What did he do? What did he do? I don't understand it. You got to put the best guys out there. I don't care about age. What did Kohli do when he first, not Kohli, Dhoni do when he first took over the Indian Test team, right? I don't care what these guys have done in the past. It's who's going to help me win right now, right? He got rid of some of those older dudes, brought in the youth movement, and that got the India their championship, right? You're telling me Bishnoi doesn't deserve to be above some of these other guys? Really? Really? I don't get it, man. It's a huge snub, and maybe it's just the age. I don't know. Maybe the legal age is 21. For all we know, they're going to say, come on, you heathens. You got to be 21 to play internationally. I don't know. Maybe that's the rule.
Maybe. That might be a great point right there.
The only explanation is he's not old enough to play. And I'll be like, oh, okay. I thought the only rule was 21 before you could drink. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. There's international rules put here. But I can't explain it, dude. I cannot explain it. And man, it is one of those things where I'm thinking about it, when I'm looking at it, and actually, I misspoke with the maidens. That was actually he's 5th overall when we're talking about IPL bowling. Maidens, bro, he's number 2, 3, right behind Chahar is number 1 and Siraj is number 2. Bishnoi is actually number 3. That's how good this guy is, all right? This guy is a savage. I dropped him. I was so upset in fantasy because I dropped him and I was a fool because I said, let me move it. I'm going to burn a transaction, waste one, because I was afraid of Sarjar. You know what he said to Sarjar? Please. What did he give up? Like 20 runs in 4 overs? An economy rate of 5? Or I think it might have been lower than that. Might have been 17. He's like, Sarjar what? Bro, you can play him in a high school cricket field, and my man's still going to keep his economy rate down. Biggest snub, Nick. Biggest snub. I feel bad for the kid. Oh, my God. Any other thing that was glaring to you? Because I got one that's burning.
Well, let me just correct myself real quick. The other Shahar is no scrub. He actually has more wickets than D. Shahar. But my thing is, being a Mumbai fan, I have seen him give up those expensive overs kind of at the worst time possible. I have not seen that. Now, I'm not a CSK fan, but I have not seen that from D. Shahar. R. Shahar, he's great. He's a great bowler too. I'm not trying to give him any shade. I'm surprised by Sanju Samson. I was surprised by him because Sanju Samson, he can hit 6s He can rake. He can be a guy that you need to count on to get you some runs, but he has not been consistent enough. Not when you got guys, and I'm not saying this guy's better. I'm just throwing some names out there. You got guys like Ryudu, right? But the biggest one, and you got Sky, right? Surya Kumar Yadav. But for me, you know what I'm going to say. My biggest one is Ishan Kishan. This guy, he can get you some runs. We need to get him some runs. He's young. He's got some stuff to learn, but he has proven in several seasons. I know you guys are going to say it. Oh, he's not consistent enough. He's good for 1 or 2 40s, and then he disappears. I would say he was way more consistent this year. I would say he's probably, because he hasn't had as much matches, he might be even more consistent than Sanju Samson. And I could be wrong because Sanju Samson's one of their big dogs out there. I was surprised by that one. I'm not saying he's horrible, but from his track record, you want guys that are going good. I was surprised by Sanju.
I was surprised by Sanju as well. Sanju to me is so inconsistent. All right. Look at his numbers, bro. He has 2 or 3 games this season where he scored above 80. He had 2 scores where he had, I think it was back-to-back centuries open up, or so. I can't even remember what his numbers were. All right. So here's my point. The first 2 games, I was like, listen, replace Pant, replace KO Raul. Get rid of all of them. This guy deserves to play every game. This is what he did for the Royals. 74 runs his first game, 85 his second game. And then it was quiet for a long time. And recently, he just got another 54, okay? That's 213 runs, people, 213 runs. You know how many runs he's got scored on the season? 326. Yeah, 2/3 of his runs basically came in 3 games. You want to talk about consistency? The Royals have played more games than everybody else. They played 12 games. Guys, I don't get it. I don't get it. People keep saying KO Raul is not a wicket keeper. That's the mentality to me, that old school mentality where if you're considered a shortstop, or let's say you're considered a second baseman, you can't play shortstop. Or you're considered a outfielder, you can't play infield. Bro, if you're an athlete, you're an athlete. If you can play, you can play. And I'm just like, what is going on? I don't get it. Now, Rishiv Pant, here's my point with Pant. You go to Pant, right? And Pant missed, I think it was 3 games total. I didn't think a hamstring injury was going to keep him out that long, but he's missed 3 games. And I was like, and you could tell, by the way, DC went 1 and 2 during those games. So that tells you how important Rishiv Pant is to that organization. But Rishiv Pant, where
his average is 31. He got 217 runs. His average is 31.
Yeah. 217 and his you just mentioned it right there. His average is 31. You know what I mean? Like, I think Pant is more suitable to T20. It's just my opinion. I know a lot of people are going to say, no, Pant's immature. I agree. I agree. But are they saying that they've already given up on Pant by not putting him in the T20 team? That's what I feel like this is.
But, Ishan Kishan, right? I'm going to go back to that point because I just looked at the numbers and I was actually surprised. He's only got like 30 less runs than Sanju Samson, and he's played in 4 less matches. His average is at 42. So my comment about how people say he's only good for 1 or 2 40s in the entire season and he goes away, he averages 42. He averages that every single time. He's got 150. He got that 99. He had a really close to another 50 right there. We had like 44, 46, something like that. This guy can put up runs, and he's been more consistent this year. I don't know how he is at the defensive skills. Maybe that's where it gets him. I don't know. But let me just say, as Gabe's saying, I'm surprised by that Sanju Samson one as well. I would love to see myself in Ishan Kishan. And I'm surprised about Surya Kumar Yadav. I know this guy's got lots of fans. Let us know what's going on there. Regardless, it sounds like we're trashing these squads. We're not. We're trying to find something to talk about because these squads are so stacked. I cannot wait to see all these guys because you see them in the IPL, you think they're from different places. No, these guys are all from India. I cannot wait to see them all play together. And when one guy goes down, oh, don't worry. We got some. Don't worry. Oh, don't worry. We got all these players. The last point I want to make, and again, it's going to sound like I'm trashing them. I'm not. With some of these bowlers, you want to think about they're going to be tail enders. Which of these guys can, score some runs for you? When you get to that point where you have some quick wickets going down, you need some runs. Wouldn't you love to have a Tawadia, right? Wouldn't you love to have a bowler that can get you some runs? I can't remember Saini getting too much runs. I can't remember Shami getting too much runs. I can't remember Chakravarti getting too much runs. I saw him today. He went down for 2.
I don't think he
right?
knows how to hold it back.
So I mean,
not to cut
it's
you
just
off, Nick.
something you got to think about.
I gotta agree with Nick. We're not trashing them. Let me tell you guys something. You can make 2 test teams out of, or you can make 2 ODI or 2 T20 teams, and we would still find guys like, why isn't this guy in? Why isn't this guy in? I mean, Padicle can't. He's top 3, I think top 5 in run scores in most offensive metrics, and he can't sniff. But can a brother get not one of the teams? Padicle can't get on. Man, he must have pissed Kohli off. I don't know what's going on. Bishnoi's got to be like, can a brother get on already?
They're on the same squad too.
You know what I'm saying? So like, we're not guys. They're all fabulous players, and I tell you what, I think Kohli might have looked a little older, as a matter of fact, now that I think about it, because he came in looking exhausted in that last RCB game. I even might have seen a little gray in his hair. And it's not cricket. You know what it is? This selection. Because he's like, oh, God, how do I got to leave this guy off? Oh, man. You know, it's an impossible task. I guarantee you, we put together our own team, and they're like, you left that guy off? You left that guy off? You left that guy off? I mean, you know what I mean? Guys, at home, try and do it. Go ahead and put together your own T20 team and tell me you're not going to second judge after you put it together and say, oh, wait, no, I can't. But oh, man. No, let me scratch that up. Let me tell you something. There's going to be like 6 different drafts, cousin. It ain't going to be one draft, all right? It's going to be 6 different drafts, man. But, oh, Nick, aren't you excited?
Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait. The number one thing that people would complain about my list is like, why do you got Khalil Ahmed on your squad? How did you make your squad?
Oh, I tell you right now, I'm having Pat on my T20 squad. I'm going to get crushed with Pat. Like, bro, are you related to him? Why do you like him so much? I'm telling you, bro.
For Khalil Ahmed. And I would just do it just to be stubborn and say, that prediction's going to hold true.
Oh, guys, man.
You're the experts. You know, you guys teach us so much. Let us know. Do you feel like the squads are just perfect the way they are? He did a great job. Do you see some changes that he made? I know we're all excited. Can't wait to see what happens. We got these matches, these international games coming up super, super quick. Until then, we're going to finish the IPL. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share your thoughts. And until next time.
That's 6 runs.